Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? What is up you guys? I'm Gary and today I'm going to react to a high school kid is suspended over haircut for 2 weeks by TheProfessional. So TheProfessional is one of my favorite gamers. He's a Polish American that does do crazy gaming playthrough in YouTube, and he's not such a popular gamer, but he makes some cool videos about reacting with some situation and GTA lore analysis. And make sure to subscribe to TheProfessional. And anything further to do, let's begin. Alright, so anything further to do, let's begin.
Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a crazy current events video for you guys. If you guys are unfamiliar with these are very different than a lot of the other videos that I do. These are videos in which I just react to ridiculous stories that are going on, and I give my opinion on them while playing some gameplay in the background. And this is a story that a bunch of you guys have actually asked me about. A bunch of my viewers have asked me about this and my thoughts on this. It's a really ridiculous one. But let's read the article here, and I will link the article as well as the video down below.
I will link also in the description too.
High school student suspended in Texas because of dreadlocks files lawsuit. The teen is dealing with in-school suspension because he will not cut his hair. So that's right, this kid had just started high school at apparently a new school, and he had gotten suspended for 2 weeks. 2 weeks for his haircut. Not joking, this had actually happened. Let's play the video right here.
Wait, really? He got suspended for 2 weeks from school because of a haircut? That's crazy. I mean, it never happens like in Albania because people in the Balkans, they don't judge what is your haircut, but they judge by the code of dressing. Well, that's crazy.
New information tonight. A Mount Bellevue family of a high school student is considering a discrimination lawsuit against the district. Their son, Daryl George, was suspended because of his hair in August, just days after the state's new Crown Act took effect. Monday was his first day back after the 2-week suspension, and he was suspended again. According to the student handbook, Barbers Hill ISD prohibits
Change school. You don't have to send your kid at this school. I mean, I don't know what is it about, but this content is crazy. Because in Albania it would never happen, this thing.
prohibits male students from having hair that extends below their eyebrows, earlobes, or the top of their t-shirt collars. George's mother says he's been in compliance with the dress code.
They said that when let down, his hair is below his eyebrows, which they never seen his hair let down because, as you can see from pictures, from all the pictures, his hair is always up. So they just basically picking with my child.
The district contends the dress code
That's called bullying. The best case in school ever goes to. Alright.
is legal. It's about hair length, which is not covered in the Texas Crown Act.
The family of a black Texas high school student who was suspended over his dreadlocks filed a federal lawsuit Saturday against Texas Governor Greg Abbott and the state's Attorney General Ken Paxton for allegedly not enforcing the state's Crown Act, a law which prohibits from hair discrimination. The family filed the complaint alleging that Daryl George, a junior at Barbers Hill High School in Mount Bellevue, has been subjected to improper discipline and abrogation of both his constitutional and states' rights as a result of the governor's and the Attorney General's failure to provide equal protection and due process under the law for the plaintiffs, ensuring school district and schools refrain from discrimination based on race and sex, and from using the Crown Act of Texas to cause outright race discrimination, according to a copy of the lawsuit ABC News obtained. Okay, so for people confused, plaintiff basically means the person that is suing. ABC News requests for comments from Abbott and Paxton were not immediately answered. Daryl George's been sitting on a small stool at school every day since August 31, back aching, as he receives his schoolwork online through a classmate, according to his mother, Daresha George. The school claimed that his dreadlocks violated their dress and grooming code. He was recently issued an additional $5.
Well, that's crazy, what has been happening with this case, because I've never listened to a case, but a person is suspended from school because of his hair. There might be like few cases around Europe, but this is so crazy what's happening in America.
5 days of in-school suspension after already serving weeks of ISS. Every day my son comes home with tears in his eyes. He's frustrated, he's outraged, aggravated, and it's breaking him down mentally, physically, and emotionally. The rest of George told ABC News. I have to see him taking ibuprofen because his back hurts, man. So you're probably wondering, what is this haircut exactly that he had gotten suspended over? This is the haircut. That's right, this. This is what...
I mean, that's not bad haircut. I mean, I wouldn't judge, the people from the haircut. I mean, I love every people of the world, but I would never judge from a haircut or the way called of dressing. But in Albania and in the Balkans, the region where I come, so okay, there are people who judge typical people like this because of the hair or because of the tattoos and the way they're dressing much more, and this is much more bothering thing.
What he had gotten suspended for. Really? Seriously, this?
Just what? I mean, it doesn't give any problems, even for me about this haircut.
Why does the school care about a student having his hair cut like this? I don't care. I don't care what somebody's haircut looks like. This doesn't distract me from learning or anything like that. But apparently they thought that it was necessary to suspend this kid for it. Now look, I have a copy here of the school's dress code and decided to actually read through this to see if he actually did violate the haircut. Now let's read it. This is the section right here for it. It says hair. Hair must be clean and well-groomed. Well, his hair is definitely clean and well-groomed. Doesn't, violate that. Geometric or unusual patterns, including mohawks and fox hawks, shaved or in-cut or cut in the hair, are not permitted. Well, look, what I will say about this is unusual patterns. I don't like that term, unusual patterns, because it's a very vague term.
Even for me too, it's not reliable unusual patterns to say in this manner.
Term, and you could really use that for anything. And the thing about this is, my high school that I went to did not have a policy like this. There was actually a kid who actually had a mohawk, I remember, in my class, and he had a pretty tall one. And nobody cared. It did not distract from the learning environment at all. No one cared. It was just his haircut. Next one, unnatural hair color or color variation in hair, scarlet, purple, blue, green, orange, will not be permitted. The thing about this is, I remember I read like a story, this was a Reddit post that I read like a few years ago, but there was this kid that actually dyed his hair. I don't remember what color he dyed his hair, though. It wasn't like a really bright color, but he dyed his hair some kind of color where I guess people could tell that his hair was dyed. And what ended up happening is he has some kind of condition where his hair, I think, turns gray or was some other color. And what ended up happening is when he dyed his hair that color, the school was getting pissed at him, telling him that he can't dye his hair anymore. And so he doesn't dye his hair anymore, and his hair ends up turning gray because of the medical condition. He ends up getting sent home, and then the mother freaks out and actually shows the doctor's note that this kid has a specific condition with his hair. And then it was just a massive failure on the school's part there. Next one, ribbons or other types of hair accessories should not distract from the learning environment and be appropriate to the hairstyle. Okay, well, we don't see any ribbons here. Male students' hair will not extend any... This is what they got him on right here. Male students' hair will not extend at any time below the eyebrow.
Oh, now I get it. What's going on?
Or below the earlobes. Male students' hair must not extend below the top of the t-shirt collar or be gathered or worn in a style that would allow the hair to extend below the top of a t-shirt collar, below the eyebrows, or below the earlobes when let down. Now, what I will say about this is that no one reads stuff like this. When you have a school dress code, no one reads into this. Like, there are rules that the schools will send out to, like, homes that...
I mean, it depends what school the parents have sent this kid that got suspended, because might be, I don't know, like a state school or a Catholic school, because this is not a private school.
parents can read before their students attend school. But I'm telling you, nobody reads this stuff. Nobody cares about this stuff.
Exactly. I'm also with the professional. Even in Albania, they don't care about this stuff because what the people care about, the other people, is the dressing code, not the hair code.
Because, you know, when I went to school, when I went to high school, the only thing that I knew about a dress code, we didn't have uniforms at my school, but the only thing that I knew about a dress code, I didn't know anything about haircuts or anything like that. The only thing I knew is you could not wear something that was offensive or had something violent on it. That was the only thing. You could wear whatever else that you wanted. You just could not wear anything violent or offensive. That was it. That's the only thing that everybody knew. That was that specific rule. But other than that, you know, we didn't have any kind of rule on haircuts. And this, what I will tell you about this is that this right here. Now, this I was not familiar with. Now, from a legal perspective, I'm not defending the school, guys. I think what the school did.
Either with the point 2 and the last point of the hair code, I wasn't, very, very clear. Like, what is about unusual patterns? I mean, can someone explain about it? And about what is related, with the eyebrows and below the earlobes? Because the last point and point number 2 just doesn't make sense either for me.
That is stupid. But I'm telling you, from a legal perspective, what the school is going to do is the school is going to use this specific part right here, this section, the male student's hair will not extend. That's what they are going to argue. They are going to argue in court that this is the rules that we have for our school and that your student was not aware of these rules before he attended the school. I'm not defending the school again, want to make that clear. I'm just saying what the school is going to use in its legal defense. Now, this part right here, this part I didn't know about this. That Texas enacted a law here, and so the Crown Act on September 1st, making it unlawful to discriminate against protective hairstyles in school. Ali Booker, Darisha, Georgia's attorney, told ABC any student's dress or.
Oh, okay. So it depends from different American states what they think about hair codes, because I think every state of the United States also. It's the same thing also here in Europe, but every state of the world, they have different behaviors about the hair code, the dress code, or the language code, or how they will talk.
Or grooming policy adopted by a school district, including a student dress or grooming policy for any extracurricular activity, may not discriminate against a hair texture or protective hairstyle commonly or historically associated with race, according to the Crown Act. Protective hairstyle includes braids, locks, and twists. And it seems that his haircut is definitely protected under the Crown Act from what I've seen. The Crown Act, which stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, was passed with a bipartisan vote in the Texas legislature and signed into law by Abbott in May. State law Representative Ron Reynolds, who was one of the authors of the Texas Crown Act, told ABC News in an interview that he has spoken with the family and offered his support. We're going to protect him. They're not in it alone. So we, as the Texas legislature, Black Caucus, stand behind him. Reynolds said, this is one of our top 5 legislative priorities this session, and we fought like hell to pass it, and we won't go quietly in the night. Now, this is what the school here is using in their defense. The school district sent ABC News a statement from Barbers Hill Independent School District Superintendent Greg Poole, which they emailed to students and their families last Wednesday. We recently had a mother bring her children from a neighboring district that has a different dress code than ours. Knowing what our expectations are, she has utilized the media to present her case that we are unfairly treating her child. The statement from the superintendent reads in part, my high school son doesn't like to cut his hair. You perhaps deal with the same issue in your household. Regardless, these same rules have existed longer than my time at Barbers Hill, and the rules are applicable to all students unless they have legitimate reasons for religious exemption. Reynolds told ABC News that this school district is stuck in the past and that times have changed where it's common for males to wear longer hair than what used to be traditionally accepted by the status quo. There used to be where girls couldn't wear pants, Reynolds said. I mean, this is 2023. I'm sorry, Barbers Hill Independent School District. You have to wake up. So I agree with this. And what I will tell you guys...
Exactly. Even with me, I agree with this whole statement about the parents that are protesting about against the rules of this high school in Texas.
Guys, is look, even if that's the rule that's on the books there, I'm telling you that that's stupid. Just because it's the rule doesn't mean that you necessarily have to follow it. And the rules should be changed, if anything. Why does the other school that he was at, it doesn't have this rule? He hasn't had issues at that other school. But when he started attending this school, it has these issues. And what I basically think happened here is I think that, like, you know, you have to really be some kind of, you know, idiot. You have to really be some kind of, what's the term of it? You have to really be some kind of school Karen to be able to care about this kid's haircut. What I basically think happened here is I think you probably had some elderly person at this school,
Yeah, probably the principal of this high school had some personal issues with different person from a different race that he told to the student, you cannot come to our high school because he has an hair issue, and that's the reason that he was pissed off. That would be the end of the story that I can explain. But I hear that in America there are a lot of racist cases rather than Italy, France, Germany, or around westernish like Europe, I think, or rather than Canada.
probably go through the halls, see this kid's haircut, and was basically saying, oh, you know, I don't like the way these kids have their hair today, complained about it, probably brought it to the office.
Really?
Principal probably sent him into the office, and that's probably what ended up happening, and now the superintendent is involved. And I don't think this school realizes that the vast majority of people are against him. You know, the 95% of the comments that I've seen on this are on the kids' side. Very few comments that I have seen that are on the school side. The only actual defense that the school could possibly have in this case is that these are the rules they had on the books. But if anything, that Crown Act might be that these rules might be violating the Crown Act that they had. And who cares? It's a haircut. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, even for me too, I wouldn't care about nothing about it. It's just a haircut. I mean, what wrong would be, you know, for anyone who is in a class with this guy who got denied from the school, who got suspended from the school. My goodness.
It's not going to violate your learning experience.
Exactly.
Like I said, I seen a kid with a mohawk in my class. It never distracted me from learning or any of that other stuff. This is just stupid. And for people wondering, because I know I'm going to get these questions in the comments, a lot of my viewers, when we were talking about this on the Red Dead stream, a lot of you guys were actually surprised when I said that a lot of places consider a haircut to be a dress code. Yes, I know that's kind of stupid, but a lot of places do consider a haircut to be a dress code. And it doesn't really matter. As long as somebody is not wearing something offensive on their heads, then it doesn't matter what kind of haircut they have. And what I will say about this policy is, this policy right here, I would consider this sexist also against male students. Because why is it that why are the male students punished for having long hair, but the female students aren't? That would
Exactly. Also, this is a good point, the professional. I mean, why, you know, the schools, they don't criticize, you know, the girls' hair dressing code rather than the boys' one. I mean, okay, than the boys' one. Because I think this is like a war between two genders that probably it's happening.
be my question there. If female students having long hair does not distract people from education, then male students with long hair shouldn't distract people from education either. When it comes to male students with long hair, I
think what professional meant is just that people should be equal. You know, no matter what hair code they're dressing, or probably what dress code they are wearing during a class time in a high school.
seen kids with long hair. I've seen kids with long hair in high school. I've seen kids with long hair in college. No one cared about.
Even the same thing. Even in work and travel, I used to see, you know, young people with long hair. Even in my college, when I was in Bulgaria, I used to see people, you know, students with long hair, with curly hair, boys, girls, and no one took care about criticizing about the hair code or dressing code, because it was much more it's much more liberal education rather than in Texas. case.
That no one gets distracted by that and just stares across the room and just doesn't pay attention. Oh, I'm not going to pay attention to the lesson. I'm not going to do my homework. I'm not going to do, study on my test or anything like that, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to this male kid's long hair that is across the classroom. Really?
Yeah, really? Really? I mean, I have the same thing with professional. I mean, why the professors would take attention just to criticize the hair of his boy and to pay attention to help him out, in a homework or explaining to the class, for example, a math problem or a different subject problem, rather than focusing on the case of a hair code that either doesn't make sense, And I can say that this is a crazy case that I've never heard about it, but that's so crazy.
Is that how the thought process that these schools have? It's just idiotic and it's stupid, and if anything, the rule needs to be changed. I do definitely think that they have a case here. I do.
Even for me as an European, this doesn't make sense. What people wear today or what haircut they have today. I just don't care, because what is the most important is just to see yourself and not to see on others' perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Think that they have a chance of winning, but like I said, not defending the school is going to bring up this rule and is going to basically say
Yeah, but the professional said, what high school was this one that this incident happened in Texas? It was a Catholic school or a state high school, because it depends what high school that boy was, that he was criticized. Because if he was in a Catholic high school, I think he was criticized for his hair, or either in a state school. Come on, professional. I mean, the professional didn't explain it. What high school was, where what happened. All this thing. I cannot speak. Ah, damn. Okay, I forgot about it. I mean, what high school happened? Because now I understand what really generally happened with the situation. But what type of high school was? And the professional didn't give it any response. That's weird.
in civil court, they are going to say that this is the rule that we have in the books. We have the parents were aware of this rule when we sent them out, and they sent their kid here without changing his haircut. But I will say though, even if somehow he did violate the rules, even if he somehow did that, then 2 weeks, really? Suspending somebody for 2 weeks for a haircut. Even schools that have a school uniform, a lot of them don't even suspend somebody for 2 weeks. Oftentimes they give them detention for not coming to school with a uniform. But you're going to give a kid 2 weeks suspension for just a haircut? How idiotic is that? What kind of Karens do we have running this school? So I definitely do think that they have a case for, discrimination on his haircut. And I will show you guys another case here. This was another case of another school that had really stupid dress code. Now, this one was actually part of a backpack that a kid had. This is a story that happened a month ago. Originally, I was going to make a crazy current events video about this about a month ago, but then a few weeks passed and
Wait, there's another current video about Colorado Gadsden flag incident. Okay.
It became an old story, and I didn't have time to make a video on it. But basically what happened a month ago is you had this other school. This one was in Colorado. And so this kid on his backpack, this was a middle school, I believe. On his backpack, he had a Gadsden flag, and what ended up happening is,
what is a Gadsden flag? It is it is about his country, where it comes from.
His teacher brought this kid down to the office for having that Gadsden flag, and was actually calling it racist. The teacher was calling it a bad flag. And just the mother came down and started arguing with the teacher.
Goodness.
I'm gonna play the video for you.
What is wrong with America, and what is wrong with some people that they judge people, because of what flag they put on their backpack or they put on their uniforms? This is just crazy. Because even in the Balkans, I think there has been a case in Preševo Valley, that is a region near Kosovo border, in which the government of Serbia has been banning its people, the Albanian minority that lives there, to not wear anything with the Albanian flag. I mean, seriously? To ban the rights of the Albanians in Serbia. That's crazy. I mean, look at Vojvodina. I mean, look at Sanjak region. Because in Sanjak, the Bosniaks of Serbia, they have much more rights rather than the Albanians of Serbia. And the Hungarians or the Romanians in Vojvodina, they have much more rights rather than the Albanians in Serbia. It's just, this doesn't make no sense. That's crazy.
For you guys, and I'm telling you guys from historical perspective that the Gadsden flag actually has nothing to do with racism, and so they punished this kid also for just stupid reasons. Let's play the video here.
Alright.
To its origins with slavery and slave trade.
Oh, okay, so I see what is a Gadsden flag.
That is what was, that's the reasoning behind them to not use slave.
The Gadsden flag.
The don't tread on me.
What's going to happen if he doesn't take it off?
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, like,
That is discrimination, you know. And I can say that in America there is much more discrimination to these minority people, you know, rather than like I can say the Balkans or like the Western Europe, or it depends what region you are.
upset that he was missing so much school. I'm like, so I asked if can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class. Like, I just want him to go back to class. The bag can't go back. It's got the patch on it because we can't have that in and around other kids. So that's what I was trying, and then he said you were close. So I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery. That's like the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. Like, that wasn't, that's the revolution. Maybe you're thinking of like Confederate flag.
Okay, I am here to enforce the policy that was provided by the district. You have every.
I mean, how much the story of this Gadsden flag has? It's just like 200 years right now. I mean, what the hell is wrong with the people? I mean, today in Albania, people can wear like the Italian flag, or I don't know, any type of worldwide flag, and they don't ask nothing. And this case is so stupid, and it's crazy.
Right to not agree with it. I mean,
Yeah, because the ACLU
absolutely.
says that he's allowed to wear that.
So this complaint at the Colorado school, this was actually started by a teacher. It was started by the kid's teacher who saw that Gadsden flag on his backpack, got offended by it, and brought the kid down to the office, and then eventually
Colorado school Gadsden flag ban overturned after student goes viral.
the higher-ups in the school
I'm gonna link also this newspaper in the description.
got involved. They defended they defended the teacher's action, but then later on, the school admitted that they were in the wrong, and they actually had to apologize, and the kid is now allowed to have the Gadsden flag on. Now, what is
Seriously?
the Gadsden flag, this flag here. Now this flag, whenever people see this flag, a lot of times people think that this flag is something bad, they think that it's something racist, they often see, oh, the scary snake, it has to be a bad flag. But the reality of it is this flag has nothing to do with racism. It's not. This flag is actually part of the American Revolution. I don't know why, but people spread misinformation online all the time where people say that this was a Confederate flag. I don't know where the hell these people are being educated from, but this is
I think there is also falsification in the American history rather than the European history case.
not a Confederate flag. This flag has nothing to do with the Confederacy. It has nothing to do with the Civil War. This flag was created nearly 100 years before the Civil War, during the American Revolutionary War. And so this flag, what the flag basically represents, for people that are confused with it, the snake represents the 13 colonies. Now, this is represented, the guy who designed the flag, Gadsden, originally was a Southerner. That is true, the guy who designed the flag. And the flag owner, he did have slaves. That is true. But the meaning of the flag had nothing to do with slavery. And the original design of the flag, where the design actually came from, it actually came from Ben Franklin. So Gadsden was the one who designed the flag, but Ben Franklin was the one who originally designed the whole snake idea. And Ben Franklin was extremely against slavery. The design originally comes from the join or die symbol. The join or die symbol, this was a symbol that was used during the French and Indian War, and it was used for the 13 colonies to unite against France, because it was Ben Franklin basically saying, if we don't unite against France, this was a war that Britain and France fought against each other, mostly in Canada and the upper 13 colonies. And Ben Franklin at the time was arguing that the 13 colonies have to unite to stop France, or else France is going to take us over. And during the American Revolutionary War, this symbol was actually brought back and used again, and it was that the 13 colonies have to unite against Britain. And what the snake basically represents is it represents each of the 13 colonies. It's each of the 13 states at that time, that if we are separated, if we do not unite, then we're just basically pieces of a snake. But if we unite together...
So to explain, that's South Carolina, that's North Carolina, that's Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and New England.
We are as venomous...
That compose the 13 first colonies of the United States.
As a snake, and we can stand up to anybody threatening us, whether that is France or whether that is Britain, this corrupt monarchy. And so the Gadsden flag was a flag...
You know why I love The Professional? Because also in his lore videos he relates all these cases with the historical cases. And this guy, I think he graduated in criminology in his major, and he actually lives in New York, but he's much more popular in his videos, and also he has much more knowledge in Polish history and also in American history.
That was used for freedom. It was a flag used against tyranny. It is an anti-tyranny flag. That is the whole purpose of the Gadsden flag. It was a flag meant to stand up against the corrupt British monarchy that was oppressing the 13 colonists at that time. It was a flag with the "Don't tread on me," basically saying that you don't mess with me. Do not violate my rights. It's a flag basically saying, do not violate my rights or I am like a snake. If you try to, threaten me, if you try to hurt me, I will defend myself. That is basically what the Gadsden...
I don't know, but Benjamin Franklin had a great idea for creating this flag
was. And the Gadsden flag actually predates the American flag. And the Gadsden flag was such a big flag in American history that this was a flag that was brought onto several battlefields. You actually see it in movies like The Patriot. You will see the flag also. That's, even though The Patriot is not the most historically accurate movie, then The Patriot actually does get that right, that militias would be carrying the Gadsden flag around the American Revolution. And some people love the Gadsden flag so much that they actually wanted the Gadsden flag to be the original American flag, that not the flag that we actually have today, not the stars and the stripes. So the point is, the Gadsden flag is not harmful, it is not a racist flag, it has nothing to do with the Confederacy, zero. It was an American Revolutionary flag that was basically used to stand up to the monarchy, and it was saying, do not violate my rights. That's all it is. The people that typically have the Gadsden flag today are people who want small government, and they're skeptical of federal power. That's it. They don't like the federal government having all this power. Now, look, sure, there might be, a few extremists that use the flag. There might be some racist people that have the flag. But that's not what the flag represents. Racist people also use the American flag, and the American flag is not...
They just don't understand history, or they just don't understand how America has misinterpreted the history of the Revolutionary War, The Professional. And also, you could have put also on this topic about the falsification and the mythologization. Okay, the myths, let's say, of the American history during the Revolutionary War.
A racist flag. So the vast majority of people that have this flag are good people. It's not a bad flag. It does not have a bad meaning. It's not comparable to like the Confederate battle flag, which the Confederate battle flag, that is a bad flag that has a bad meaning.
Oh, okay, I see. I think I misinterpreted about the Confederate flag.
It was the flag that the Confederacy used during battle in the Civil War. That was a bad flag. But the Gadsden flag, on the other hand, is nothing racist about it. It is not a bad flag. It's a flag on the foundation of this country, and school trying to attack this kid over it is just a dumb idea. So the point is, we got two examples here of just schools going after kids for just ridiculous dress codes, and in both cases, the hair.
I wish that the professionals should make much more lore videos on focusing about the American schools. Because I love these typical topics like this, and also he should make much more historical lore videos focusing around the Balkans or maybe somewhere around Europe.
Haircut and the flag. They're saying that this is distracting from the learning environment. The haircut is discrimination. Clearly, the school's discriminating against this kid for his haircut. The flag is schools accusing this kid of being racist. No indication that this kid is racist. It's just a common American flag in history. It's like, how can you be a teacher and you don't even know what the Gadsden flag is? So, how are things like this, violating the learning experience? How are they distracting kids from anything? These schools have basically become mega Karens. That's what these schools are. I don't care what kind of haircut somebody has. As long as somebody is not wearing something offensive and something bad, then who cares what kind of haircut they have? Who cares what they have on their backpack? As long as it's not something offensive
Exactly.
or bad, then who cares what they have on them? Well, who cares what kind of dress code they have? It's not important. Both of these kids' rights were violated by these dumb schools. But let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Alright, so I think that we can wrap it here, the video, but this case is crazy. And even familiar cases that has been happening also, let's say here in the Balkans, and they are very familiar. Okay, I'm gonna read one comment. One correction I wanted to make when I talked about the Gadsden flag controversy. I had made a mistake. The flag itself and its design has no racist meaning, but Benjamin Franklin did own slaves when he was younger, but later in life he was extremely against slavery. He was a very big supporter of the abolitionist movement to outlaw slavery in his later years. He tried to outlaw it and sent a petition to Congress where it was shouted by Southern politicians. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. So what I'm seeing is just that the professional has been correcting a part of a story that tells about Benjamin Franklin proposal for the freedom of the slaves that was rejected by the southern part, that is like Georgia, South Carolina, or Northern Carolina. This is what happens when arrogant people got a small taste of power. He's right. Also, it happens always in the Balkans. If you focus about the minorities rights, like in Greece or in Turkey, Bulgaria can be, Serbia and Macedonia, and the people of these countries or minorities of the countries, they have many problems, in trying to speak their language, to express their rights, and to express what nation they are from. But maybe one day I'm gonna have to do a lot of videos about what situation is today, the Balkans, and about their rights. But this video is not intended to show hateness between the people, but is just to show the reality, what the people are experiencing with crazy situation like that. But the professional made a great job on making this video. I hope his family wins the lawsuit, and if that doesn't work, if the kid sees skip in school suspension. When I was in school, what really matters as long as you show up to school to learn what matters. He's right. Not how you dress or how your hair is. Not many black kids had dreadlocks back in the early 2000s. We actually have cornrows then. This was discrimination because they were trying to find every reason to suspend him, no matter how he kept his hair. Okay, he's right. Alright, so there are a lot of comments. I'm just gonna read one. I'm so shocked that something like this, which is still relatively commonly in my country, Thailand, it happens in America. Is also right, because also with typical cases like that, I think it happens also randomly in Albania, but it might be happening also in the Balkans with the international students that they go in the state schools. and also somewhere around like Western Europe. But like as I told you, one day I'm gonna do a lore video. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up the video, guys. Anyways, hope you guys like this video, and I think this video is the longest one that I've ever reacted in my life of my YouTube channel. But the next time I'm gonna react to much more professional videos, and he does perfect videos, reactions, and I love The Professional. And he's one of my favorite gamers. And as again, make sure guys to subscribe to The Professional videos. I will link also the video in the description, and the articles that The Professional mentioned in his video, and anything to do. I'm going to wrap it up the videos. Make sure guys again to like the video, and take care everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.